Hello and welcome back to Steve Vapes. Today we're looking at kangertechs Dripbox 160. Let's get into this one. So today we're looking at the Dripbox 160. Now kangertech, I've pulled out all the stops with this one. So I am, to start off, quite impressed. But we'll get more into that later on in the video. Quick vape. So, the original claps and coils that do come installed in this do get a little bit rowdy, and I say I've been using it for about 2 weeks. So I'm going to rip out this build, show you the deck, show you the internals and how it works. We'll throw in a new build, we'll have another vape, we'll talk about it, we'll see how durable and adaptable this device is. So let's have a close-up. Here we are, up close and personal with the Dripbox 160. Packaging's a bit different this time. Now, I've got a bit of a confession. I was nosy. On every box that's been produced, this part has a permanent marker over it. Now, I removed it with nail varnish remover to find the ceramic coil. What? Now, the Dripbox does not come with a ceramic coil, but the thought was there from kangertech. So, in the future, we might see ceramic coils being released, because the heads on these are interchangeable and you can buy the coils ready wicked. We'll get into that more later. So, in this box you get the Sub-Drip 160, the Drip Mod 160, the DIY base, ignore the ceramic coil, replacement drip coil, an extra tank, accessory pack, mini USB and the manual. So, let's crack her open. So see, I think that's displayed really nice. To be fair, they've actually put effort into the packaging. A lot of manufacturers just fire out a box and that's it. They've actually put thought there. Now you do get your quick scan to make sure you've got the authentic model and your scratch and sniff on the back as well. So let's put the mod to one side and we'll go through the accessory pack. Okay. So in here, let's crack her open. To one side, you get your manual, basic information in there, user guide, and you've got the information on how to use the validation on the authenticity card as well. Put the manual to one side. So in the box you get spare Clapton coils, some little grub screws for the deck, a spit back guard which you can use in the RDA, we'll go into that later, and a little Allen key. Get some spare cotton so you can re-wick your own coil. You get a spare pre-built Canthal coil. Now this is the old style Dripbox coil. It's not the new one with the holes in the bottom, which we'll get into more later. You do get an upgraded little spare tank because you get a little plug at the top of this one, so you can carry a full tank around with you when you're out and about, which is a really nice little feature. That brilliant idea from kangertech. And a mini USB. We've got loads of those, but still, it's nice to have a new one. So let's move on to the device. So this is the device itself. Smart design again. Nothing too flashy. Nice kangertech logo marked on the side. Quick nosy around. Very snazzy. Okay, so I have put two 18650s into this. Now ignore the fact that it's reading the resistance at that, because I have stripped out the coil, as I said. So, quick features. 3 clicks to change the mode the device is in. So 1, 2, 3. Swaps over to nickel. 1, 2, 3. Titanium. 1, 2, 3. Changes you to nichrome. 1, 2, 3. It's sus, which is stainless steel. 1, 2, 3. And you're back in wattage mode. Nice and simple. Now, outside this screen. You can get a bit of glare on it. It does help if you press the up and the power button. It swaps the display mode around, and now outside in the sunlight, that stands out a hell of a lot more than it does in this artificial lighting inside. Nice feature. Swap it back. Now if you want to lock the up and down so you can't adjust the wattage in your pocket, all 3 buttons and it locks. No adjustment. Same again to put it back to normal mode. All 3 buttons, unlocked. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. So, the device itself, the same as the original Dripbox. You've got a magnetic door, which releases your tank. It's a 7mm capacity for your e-liquid. Very nice. This little bung that moves up and down with the tank prevents any leakage. Now I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see on this, if the camera wants to focus. The little hole at the bottom there, and this one on the rear, is where the liquid passes through, goes straight up the device into your dripper. So let's whack that back in there. Now, again with the magnetic door, I'd have liked to have seen what they've done with the battery compartment repeated on the other side. The battery compartment pops out. Now that is a spring-loaded door, so it stays where it is, so it's not in the way when you're popping your batteries in and out. Lovely. Now these batteries are marked, so you've got plus and minus marked on the bar at the bottom. Nice and simple, nice and simple. Plus down, minus down, lock it in. Good to go. So let's have a look at this deck. Let's pop it open. Inside there you've got a mini velocity style deck, which is, I found, a lot easier to build on than the original Dripbox deck. Quick nosy around your cap. Now you have got a mouth to lung feature on the Dripbox this time, which is adjusted by turning the actual drip tip itself. That opens your mouth to lung, but also closes your side airflow. You can adjust your airflow simply by turning the drip tip. Very simple, very simple. Now, as we're saying, the actual base of the coil this time of the build deck does have extra juice flow. If we take a look back at the original Dripbox, you see the difference there. It didn't have the holes in the middle, and the style of the deck and the actual millimeters on the where you're actually building your coil is bigger with the new one. Now I haven't measured them, but hey ho. Now these coils are backdatable. You can use this deck on the original drip mod. Now, nice and simple way to pop her open. I'll show you what you do. If you hold on to the base of the dripper, grab the posts and turn. As I was saying, these do come ready wicked with coils built onto them, so you can just replace them if you don't want to build yourself. Now, the way it works, you'll see the little recess inside there fills up with liquid when you squeeze the device, and steadily builds up pressure. So when you squeeze and you've built up the pressure inside there, once that's full, it does then start to flow through the top and come into the deck. Get that back on. Definitely prefer this style of the deck though. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so we've covered battery compartment, modes, the tank, the sub-drip adapter, and the drip mod itself. I think we're ready to pop a build in this one. Yep, so I'm going to rebuild this deck, and then we'll pop back up, have a vape, and a chat about the performance of the Dripbox. So okay, so I've installed a dual vertical Clapton build there. Bit different from what you get with your standard Dripbox, but I figured we'd trial out something a bit different. Now the wicking, I just literally installed the coils, added some loose cotton to the bottom, and used the mini tweezers to pull them up through the coil, and the wicking holes are completely covered by the cotton, so it should flow beautifully straight up, straight into that cotton. So that's the build we'll be vaping. Let's go and have a vape. Okay, so we're back up now. I am fortunate enough to have been given 2 of these. Now we are going to be doing a giveaway. Well, because of the change in the law, we're going to do a competition. What you have to do, you have to tell me what the base of kangertechs Dripbox is called. The same name as the old one. They both have separate names. Now, the top of it's called the sub drip. This is called the... Now, the answer is in this video. The answer is also in my old kangertech Dripbox review. So, check that out or watch back on the video so you can pick up on that. Not too hard. And what I need is that answer hashtagged underneath. Dead simple. Dead simple. And you also have to share the video to be entered. Dead easy. Now you can share that to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, wherever you want to share it. It does notify me when you share the video as well. Okay, nice and simple, that's out the way. So the build I've just put in, as I say, it was a dual Clapton vertical build. This, nice and rowdy, nice and rowdy. No, not as much spitback I found as the original kangertech coils. Their coils, for some reason, they're quite aggressive and they do give quite a lot of spitback. Now, kangertech have thought of that, and also this time now included, now we spoke about this briefly in the up close, this little spitback guard, and it just pops straight into your drip tip, clicks in there, nice and easy, and that stops every bit of spitback, and surprisingly, it doesn't affect the flavour. I thought it would, but it's fine. Lovely. Now, I have tested temp control on this with stainless steel coils, but I didn't test it with their drip tip. It was quite dodgy. To save me building a whole new deck, I used the Griffin. Now, the Griffin 25 does overhang massively on this. To use a tank, you're going to be looking at about a 22mm. Now, the stainless steel, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bear with me. There we go. So, lower that down a bit. In temp control mode, stainless steel. Performs wonderfully. Bloody brilliant. Now, as we were saying about the adaptability of this mod, it's got 160 watts behind it. So let's grab the TFV4, and it can control and perform with anything. Now that sits quite flush. No overhang on that. Nice and simple. Now, obviously, you can't use the squonk feature while you're using a tank. Obviously, we're not stupid people. We're not going to try and do that. I would recommend that you have the squeezy bottle empty when you're using a tank, just for safety's sake. Let's pop this little drip mod back on. Now, we've done the giveaway. Now let's go through the pros and cons. So, pros. As you've just seen, the adaptability of the device, because it's got 160 watts in there, temp control, you can use it with pretty much anything. kangertech probably don't recommend that, but you can. Now you've got a 7mm tank when you're using your squonk box. Lovely capacity. Having the spare with the cap on top so you can carry it about with you full. Bloody brilliant. That new Velocity style deck, being able to build what you want, that is an outstanding feature in my book. I'm no coil master. You get me? But I could build quite easily on that deck. Nice and simple. Being able to swap the screen around so you can see outside. Another brilliant feature. Now, I would never recommend it, but obviously it's not got a pass-through charge. You're not supposed, well, I would never charge my device through there. Some people do, but while on charge you can't use it as a pass-through. That might be a con in some people's books. Now, being completely honest, with that being in the middle, the only real con I can see is the buttons, because they do feel really cheap, plasticky. That's the only thing I can pull up as a con. Everything else, I am really impressed with. And for the price, people, it's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. And if you win this competition, well, you're not paying a penny. Even better. Even better. So, the competition will be drawn on the 30th of June. I will pop up a little vlog with the winner of the competition there. There's also a giveaway running at the moment on the channel if you want to check that out for 300ml of Naked Fish e-liquid. Now, that giveaway will end on the 16th. That's in my previous video. Feel free to check that out as well. Now, thanks for watching Steve Vapes, and I'll see you again next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.